Shalom uvracha from Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh. With the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we are continuing our joint study of the ethics of the fathers. There were actually four previous discussions of the particular Mishnah that we're studying, according to our numbering system. We're in chapter 2, Mishnah 13, and we're in part 5. Chapter 2, Mishnah 13, part 5 of our study. Those people joining us may want to know that we're learning the responses of the 5 outstanding students of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai to the question of their great teacher as to finding the formula for the proper way, for the proper pathway that a person should attempt to cleave to in their service of God, in their service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What's the proper derech? What's the proper way that a person should choose? And we've been learning over the last month or so. As I said, this is the 5th response this evening. As to each student was challenged to go out, tsuru. So come back with a report. Come back after your research. Tell us, what is the proper way? Tonight's response is the response of Rabbi Elazar. Rabbi Elazar, who teaches that after considering seriously the question of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, he concludes, Leiv Tov, the way, the most all-encompassing pathway, the most all-encompassing derech, the formula that would lead the people to the highest spiritual gains is Leiv Tov, a good heart. A good heart is very, very difficult to find. I will try to make some comments about a Leiv Tov. But I would like to read the conclusion of the Mishnah, where Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, the great Rebbe, the great Rav, who was the one who charged the students with this project, Amar Lahem, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, after hearing the response of Rabbi Elazar, says to them, Ro'eh ani et divrei Elazar ben Arach mi divrechem. I prefer, I choose, I select, I want to emphasize the teaching of Elazar ben Arach. To us, it's Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. He called him Elazar ben Arach. Rabbi Elazar ben Arach's teaching is the greatest of all of the teachings. Shebichlal divarav divrechem. All that you suggested in your teachings are all included in his words. Meaning that if a person really tries to develop Leiv Tov, a person with a good heart, will also have the quality that we learned about 4 or 5 weeks ago about the Ayin Tovah, the good eye, as taught by Rabbi Eliezer. He will either be or become or look for or select a Chaver Tov, as we learned about Rabbi Yehoshua. He will become a Shachen Tov. Rabbi Yehoshua taught about a Chaver Tov. Rabbi Yossi, a Shachen Tov. He will be Ro'et Hanolad. He will understand, because he has such a sensitive heart, he will understand the consequences of his words or his actions. How will it impact upon someone else? What will be the result after he says that which he says, after he does that which he does? And perhaps Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who seems to be the one who is the deciding vote in this discussion, he says to all of his students, Elazar ben Arach, the teaching of Leiv Tov, that's it. He has reached the apex of expression, and it is his position that I choose. The question is, does a person develop a Leiv Tov? Is it something which is innate? Can, let's say a person is not such a Leiv Tov person, can he learn to become a Leiv Tov? Is it a quality that's given to an individual, or is it a quality that can be studied and developed? Can you go to a Leiv Tov series of courses? You want to become let's say we should have workshops Elazar ben Arach workshops in developing a Leiv Tov. How does one exactly achieve it? In the book of Proverbs, we read that to guard your heart, to be careful with your heart. Mikol, I'm reading from Mishnah, chapter 4, verse 23. Whatever you do, as carefully as you guard anything, the most important thing that you should guard is your heart. Mikol mishmar, nitzor libecha. More than anything else that you guard. It means some people are very careful about their possessions, about their money, about their family. But anything, the most important thing that you can guard is your heart. Mikol mishmar, nitzor libecha, ki mimenu totzaot chayim. For from it, from the heart, are all the sources of life. That's what a heart is. To develop your life based on a good heart. In the Torah, when they speak about all the great people who are constructing the sanctuary, there's a very unusual term there that's used. It doesn't speak about them being only chachamim, but the term chacham leiv, chachmei leiv, chochmat leiv, some type of fusion between wisdom, understanding, and heart, heartfelt understanding, heartfelt wisdom. Maybe the people who are building the sanctuary of God have to have some kind of special level of connection to Leiv. It was not just that Bitzalel had outstanding chokhmah, but maybe Ohaliav, Bitzalel, these great people in charge of building the sanctuary, had to have chokhmat Leiv, some kind of chokhmah connected to a Leiv. You have to put your heart into it. You could study and not have your heart. You could fulfill the commandments without your heart. But a Leiv Tov, according to Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, is the most all-encompassing of statements. It has been pointed out by more than one person that the last letter of the Torah, then rejoined with the first letter of the Torah, is the word Leiv. The last letter of the Torah is, of course, the word Yisrael, which ends in a Lamed. Then you go back to starting again with the Beis of Bereshit. Maybe if you really want to understand Torah, you have to have your Leiv. Maybe all the functions of the body are connected to the heart, and maybe all character traits, all levels of spiritual perfection are connected to this concept of Leiv Tov. When given a choice by God to choose any gift, if you remember in the book of Kings 1, in the book of Melachim Aleph, King Solomon said, okay, what would you like? And Shlomo answers, V'natata la'avdecha leiv shomea. Leiv shomea. Could you grant your servant an understanding heart? A heart that hears, a heart that feels, a heart that understands, to properly understand and to judge your people. It would seem that Shlomo HaMelech understood the special blessing of a good heart. A person with a good heart is constantly happy. He writes in his book of Mishlei, in chapter 15, verse 15, Mishlei Tetvav, V'tov Leiv, Mishteh Tamid. If you have a good heart, you're always at a party. Mm-hmm. Your life is one big happy party. A good-hearted person is always celebrating. The person is perpetually feasting. Maybe that's the all-encompassing level of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach's response to the challenging question of the great Rav, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. However, there is something perplexing about Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. Although Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai praises the response of Rabbi Elazar in our Mishnah, and with the help of God, I hope next week, in the coming Mishnah, and what we learned in the past, if you remember, when they were weighing the greatness of all the great students of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, we have a tradition, according to one tradition, that he would outweigh them all. He would be the most outstanding of all the students, singularly outweighing all the others. Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. Nevertheless, this is a mystery. This is a puzzle. I heard this question being addressed by great people, amongst them my great teacher, Rabbi Avigdor Miller, of blessed memory. I saw it. It's written about in many, many places. I have a sefer here called Toldot Tanaim V'Amoraim, a wonderful work which I highly recommend. It lists and explains and expounds details about the lives of the outstanding Tanaim, the rabbis of the period of the Mishnah, and Amoraim, the rabbis of the period of the Gemara. And when he speaks about Elazar ben Arach, it's an alphabetical, it's a 3-volume set. I have it here on the shelf. When he speaks about Elazar ben Arach, he points out that Elazar ben Arach is almost never to be found. Never to be found. Look through the entire Talmud. Thousands of pages. Where is Elazar ben Arach? Where is Elazar ben Arach in the Mishnah? How many times is Elazar ben Arach, the greatest of the students of Rabbi Machlis Pirkei, outdoes them all? He has answers that he said, wow, B'chlal, Dvarav Divrechem. He reaches the all-encompassing level of explanation. He's greater than all the other rabbis. Where is Rabbi Elazar ben Arach? He should be the most famous rabbi in the Mishnah. Where is he? And if you look with a magnifying glass, in Mishnaic literature, maybe if you look at the Mishnah, maybe if you look at the Tosefta, maybe you'll find this obscure reference somewhere in Elazar ben Arach. Where is he? And he's the missing man in Mishnah. And according to many interpretations, the reason why he's missing is because of something that took place in the life of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, which is referenced in at least 3 or 4 places in rabbinic literature. The rabbis discuss this in Avot de Rabbi Natan. I've mentioned Avot de Rabbi Natan in the past, like the expanded form of Pirkei Avot, almost like a Talmudic, not really, but almost like a Talmudic exposition, explanation, advanced levels of understanding of the Mishnaic teachings of Pirkei Avot. It's not exactly what it is, but for the purpose of our discussion this evening, it's mentioned in the Talmud. There's a discussion about Rabbi Elazar ben Arach in the Gemara. I hope to read part of it at least tonight. There's a reference to Rabbi Elazar ben Arach in the Midrash. And it seems that Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, there was a tragic point in his life where seemingly he lost so much of the great wisdom that he had. He had amassed tremendous wisdom, tremendous Torah wisdom. He was like the outstanding man. He's called like the outstanding fountain that gets stronger and stronger. He's it. And there's a discussion. I'm reading from Midrash Rabbah, if you want to follow the reference. It's in Parashat Zayin, paragraph Zayin, where it speaks about how the 5 students of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. And after the demise of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, so the group of students went to one great place, went to establish the academy in Yavneh, and Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, it's told here in the Midrash, as is referenced in the other places, is that his wife, I hope I'm not saying anything too negative, I hope I'm not reading it in a negative way about his wife, but I think that's what it says here, that somehow he was influenced by his wife to leave the academies of Torah. What do you need to? You know how great you are. You need to be with them. Let them come to you. And she chose a recreation resort. She chose beautiful waterfalls. I can't. There are no pictures here in the Midrash, but there are lengthy descriptions about these places, both in the Talmud and in the Midrash. Maybe the outstanding water sites of a particular place. And let's go there. Anybody who's interested, let them follow us. And Rabbi Elazar, Makom Mayim, Yafim, V'naveh Yafeh, beautiful landscapes, beautiful resorts, beautiful regions, beautiful water. Let's go there. And he left the group of the rabbis. And as a result of that, he lost his Torah study. He lost his Torah study to such an extent. I assume that what it says in the Gemara is an exaggeration, but I'm not sure. I'll read it from the Gemara. I'm reading from Masechet Shabbat, Taf Kuf Mem Zayin, Amud Bet, page 147b. I don't like to read negative teachings about these great rabbis because we're talking about the most outstanding of the period of the Mishnah. And it says that certain kind of waterfalls or water access, maybe different kinds of beautiful places near the beach. It says that Rabbi Elazar ben Arach was attracted to these places, and he stayed there. The language of the Gemara here is he got so involved in what was going on in these places. I remember, I think when I studied the Yeshiva Torah Wadat, may Hashem bless the Yeshiva, I think I had one Rebbe who every year, before people were going out on vacation, we would study 147b in Masechet Shabbat. He would say, we've worked so hard the last 10 months to get somewhere spiritually. You're going to take off now to some resort. Just be careful. Remember what happened to Rabbi Elazar ben Arach? I remember one Rav quoted. I don't know how many people watching. I don't know how many people know about I was brought up in New York, and there's something called the mountains. The Catskill Mountains. Many people went there for their vacation. So I remember one Rav quoted the Bav of a Rebbe, and the Bav of a Rebbe asked, I'm sure with a smile, the Bav of a Rebbe asked, why did God give the Torah on a mountain? To teach you that even in the mountains you have to keep the Torah. It was like the yeshiva joke before vacation. And I remember one Rav saying, "You see what happened to Rabbi Elazar ben Arach? It says here, imshich batrayu. He was drawn. He was swept in. I akar talmudeh. I don't even want to translate it. He lost his. He forgot his learning. He forgot his learning. And we're not talking about someone who was like at an elementary school level. The most outstanding rabbi, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai's student, and he outdoes all the other ones. And he prefers his teaching over all the other teaching. Yakar Talmudeh. And it says he couldn't even read. And this is the part I think, I hope it's not literal, but I'll read it. There are commentators that you're not supposed to read this literally. So please, consult with your great teachers before you try to. It says when he tried to return and to read. Ki hadar ata kam lemikre b'sifra. He wanted to read from the Torah scroll. Ba'al lemikra, and the sentence in chapter 12 of the book of Exodus, famous sentence we read in Parashat HaChodesh. HaChodesh hazeh lachem. HaChodesh hazeh lachem. Yes. This month of Nisan is the Rishon Hu L'Chadeh. He couldn't read those words, and he read instead of HaChodesh, HaCheresh. Now, Dalet and the Resh are similar, but and instead of Hazeh, he read Haya. And instead of Lachem, he read Libam. Their hearts were stuffed up. When I heard the word Libam, and he's teaching about the Leiv Tov in our Mishnah, I wonder, their hearts were closed, their hearts were sealed, their hearts became deafened. Again, I don't know if it's literal or not literal. There's a teaching here that the rabbis prayed for him, and he was able to restore his Torah study. It's a tragic story. And I guess it means that a person has to be careful. He's the one who was able to hit the nail on the head. He got it. Leiv Tov. He has the Leiv Tov. And he's the one who's, the outstanding of all of them. The rabbis teach. They call HaGadol Mechaviro. Yitzro Gadol Himen. the greater the person, the greater the temptation. And one has to pray that as he or she grows in Torah study, as he or she grows in Torah observance, be careful. You think, okay, so now I'm protected. Maybe you're not so protected. Maybe the temptation can even be greater now. Maybe a person can reach a level. I'm not saying that he was, God forbid, arrogant, but surely people in his family maybe thought, you're number one. You don't have to be with anyone else. And there's a teaching here in the Gemara that he maybe is the one who teaches about being careful to always stay in the Makom Torah, stay always in an environment of Torah. Maybe we all learn the lesson of Lev Tov. In the highest level of Lev Tov is the Hebrew word Lev connected on any level to the English word love. I leave it to all the etymologists to study Lev and love. I'm privileged to be somewhat connected to a great yeshiva. It's called Lev HaTorah, the heart of Torah. I think even the way they portrayed the yeshiva as a picture of a heart, very, very great yeshiva, connected to heart. The great leaders of the yeshiva, the great people connected, are really people with Lev. So maybe we're trying all to get to this level of Lev Tov. May we all accomplish it without the pitfalls, without the downfall of the great teacher who taught us this. And may our pursuit of a Lev Tov be a source of blessing to the soul of Rabbi Elazar ben Araf, and may through the connection of each of us to Lev Tov, each one on his or her own level, may this bring about tikkun olam today. Thank you so much for listening.